It's Wednesday. You know what that means. It is January 27th, 2021, and today we are talking about tonight's episode of AEW Dynamite. How are you guys doing? How was your night? And what did you guys think about tonight's show? Overall, I thought tonight's show was pretty good. It was I wouldn't say a huge step up from last week, but it was definitely much better. The ending was pretty chaotic. Lots and lots and lots of stuff went down within the last 2 minutes or so. Pretty crazy here. Pretty crazy. All right, here, let's get this. All right, Flash, how you doing, Marcel? Chef, Chris, Safa, Sisis Gaming, Chef again, Obi James, how you doing, my friend? How are you doing? Man, the main events for AEW Dynamite and NXT were incredible. I don't know if you saw my posts on those, but very excited to see both of the main events tonight. I've been a huge fan of Danny Burch and Oni Lorcan for quite a while now, so it's great to see them form up with Pat McAfee and Pete Dunne and form that stable and get into the main event scene. I absolutely loved seeing that. And also the Dark Order, man. I was there. I've said this a million times. I was there at Double or Nothing when Evil Uno and Stu Grayson made their debut, and everyone in the crowd was chanting, "Who are you?" John Silver and Alex Reynolds were literally hired to be some enhancement talent. And man, look at where they are. They're in the main event of Dynamite, going up against the Young Bucks and the Good Brothers in the main event, holding their own. Absolutely insane. So very happy to see all of those guys shining in their own companies. Very good to see. Jungle Boy and Harwood stole the show. Yeah, man, that was a really good match for me. Jungle Boy is the future, man. Jungle Boy is 100% the future. The new music really helps. Presentate, a lot of people probably don't understand how important it is or how important music is to a person. Even just Jungle Boy using Tarzan Boy is great. As soon as Jungle Boy walked out on my screen, Tarzan Boy was trending on Twitter. And then just to hear the crowd chant in the melody of Tarzan Boy it's incredible, man. It's so good. It's like the old Shinsuke Nakamura stuff, with the crowd chanting the rhythm to his song super loud. It was just an incredible thing to see. I think that Jungle Boy has a very bright future in AEW, and I think he proved that tonight. And Dax Harwood putting him over, very good tonight. I liked who said that? Let me see. Flash said that I think that match stole the show tonight. That is what turned it all around there. Marcel says, I don't know, man. AEW got a lot of shit last week for that episode. People loved this one. Yeah, I think this one was pretty solid. Pretty solid. I don't think it's the best episode in the world, but it had my attention the whole time. So nothing too crazy happened. They did build up to Beach Bash next week, and we do have a couple of things to talk about as well for Beach Bash. They did make a couple of announcements, some of them that I did not have the chance to actually post as well. So maybe we'll talk about those to start off the show here. Let me see if I can find them in this crazy screenshot folder of everything that went down. So, okay. So one of the big ones, first of all, is that they talked about the AEW Women's World Championship Eliminator Tournament. They didn't give the entire bracket for everything. They just gave us one match. And that match is the NWA Women's World Champion Serena Deeb taking on Riho. We haven't seen Riho in a long time. In fact, let's go see. Let's see how long it's been since we've seen Riho on AEW television. Let me see here. Hopefully this is actually pretty easy to find here. So she's been on Stardom quite a lot here. So the last time we have seen, wow, it's almost been a year. It's almost been a year since we've seen Riho in AEW. The last time we saw her, it was a 4-way match with Hikaru Shida, Chris Statlander, Penelope Ford, and Riho. The match went 5 minutes and 49 seconds, and that was on March 18th of 2020. Crazy. It's been quite a while. So I think this also kind of proves what is going down for this eliminator tournament, that it's going to be some sort of USA versus Japan type deal, which also doesn't necessarily make sense as to why Riho would be on the American side to it. So I don't know. I'm assuming that we will see the usual suspects here from AEW, like Emi Sakura and all those other people who are on here for a while. Let's see. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 8 women's spot on the Japan side. So, and if Riho is going to be on the left one, kind of interesting. No worries, Alex. Good to see you, my friend. We literally just started things off here. We are talking about some of the updates that we have for next week that I did not have a chance to post yet online. You missed Yuka Sakazaki. Maybe she'll probably be in the tournament then. What's the whole point of Cody Rhodes versus Shaq? I have no idea. I'm assuming it's for publicity. That's my thought. Thoughts on Uncle Ryan's debut? I thought it was all right. He definitely looks like his brother. That is for sure. King G says Ryan Namath should have won. I disagree, man, because Hangman Adam Page is the GOAT. He is the GOAT. Michael England says Chris Statlander may return for the bracket. That would be very exciting. I'm not sure if she's ready, though. I'm not sure if she's ready to return. Not sure. Alex says, what happened to the Hangman place cards? It was there. It was there today. The screenshot that I got of it was really like blurry because of the bit rate. So I didn't end up posting the one with the nameplate, but the caption that I posted is of what the nameplate said. It said, accompanied by crippling emotional baggage. Who has a worse theme, Cody's theme or Nikki Cross's new theme? Oh man, probably Cody's new theme. Cody's new theme is terrible, man. They took the perfect song, the perfect entrance theme, and they just made it trash. Like utter trash. It is 100% garbage. 100% garbage. James says, will there be another Frick Yeah edition of one of your post shows? I don't know. Maybe if AJ Styles starts saying it again. Maybe. Yeah, I think we all agree that Cody's is way worse. Nikki's is just, I wouldn't say that Nikki's theme is terrible. I just think that it doesn't fit her at all. It seems more like a throwaway Lacey Evans theme, if you ask me. King G says, I'm a huge fan of Ryan's brother, but I wonder who his brother actually is. Wonder if his brother is a champ. I don't know, man. I'm assuming that his brother is probably an uncle, to say the least. Probably everyone's favorite uncle. At least one of everyone's favorite uncles, if I had to guess, but who knows? Jesus says, is it bad that the WWE Network moving to Peacock means I get The Office for $9.99 premium? If they charge an extra amount for pay-per-view separately, I'm not paying. Is that something that we want to talk about before we get into Dynamite? You guys want to talk more about the Peacock deal? If you do, we can. If not, I was thinking that maybe we could have a stream tomorrow afternoon to talk a little bit more in depth about the Peacock deal, because I think there's a lot of interesting things that we haven't talked about on Monday that are kind of coming to light and stuff about this Peacock deal. I still think it's a good deal overall, but we can either do it now or we could do it tomorrow in a live stream, an extra one. Maybe sometime during the afternoon. During the afternoon might be a better thing, since it could be saved for a video and be titled for Peacock stuff. So maybe we'll just do that. But yeah, we could talk in depth. We could talk in depth about Peacock, because there's a lot of stuff about it. But to answer, I mean, you didn't really ask a question about it, but I don't think that they will charge pay-per-views separately. And the reason why is because they've ruined it. They've gotten everyone used to getting WWE pay-per-views for $9.99 a month. So going into that realm of trying to charge for pay-per-views just isn't going to work. At least not at first. They could probably start charging for like WrestleMania, like the big four, like WrestleMania and the Royal Rumble and stuff, maybe like $20 for them. I'm assuming that some people would end up doing that, but it'll probably take a while. And that's something that we'll talk more in depth about tomorrow, because there's actually quite a lot to talk about with the Peacock thing. So I was looking up some stuff about it today and listening to some things about it today. So had some new thoughts and some concerns about all of that. So yeah, we'll do a stream for that tomorrow. I'm not quite sure what time exactly, but sometime in the afternoon. I'll definitely make a post about it when it happens. Sofa says Bobby Fish punching the air right now. Finn Balor with the Undisputed Era, right? And the Undisputed Era with Finn Balor in it. Looking good, man. Looking very undisputed. Flash says, how about you can talk about Peacock this Saturday? I mean, we could, but the whole thing is that Saturday is going to be pretty crazy for everything. So Saturday, I'm going to have a Royal Rumble predictions video that I'm going to release in the morning. And then we typically have a day with my fiance's family on Saturdays. So while that is releasing online, I'll be with them doing stuff. And then when I get back, we'll probably do we are going to do the Royal Rumble predictions live stream that will have everyone involved in it. And I would like to at least keep the videos on topic. That way, you know, people can find them if they want to. If they want Peacock details, they're not looking on a Royal Rumble predictions video, you know. Leroy says, is Walter coming to NXT? I would love to see that. I did see that there was an Imperium promo thing today. James says, avoid the spoilers, guys. What do you mean spoilers for what? What's getting spoiled here? Safa says, what was that move by MSK? It was crazy. I have no idea what it's called, but I really like it. I'm assuming you're talking about the backflip when the other one pushes the guy on top of the other. I really like it, man. I saw it. I'm not too familiar with the Rascals, as you guys probably know, because I don't watch Impact regularly, so I'd never seen that before last week. I really like it. The Royal Rumble entries, it's only number 30 for the men's and then 1 and 2 for the women's, right? I mean, I'm definitely going to be posting those when those go live on Saturday. And that will actually be taking place before I do my Royal Rumble live stream predictions. So the community one. So we'll be talking about that there as well. James says, should AEW just hire Big Red, Eric Redbeard already? I would love to see Eric Redbeard in AEW personally. I would. I'm not quite sure what direction they are going to be taking though with the Dark Order. They had -1 on AEW Dark saying that he was the leader of the Dark Order and he was commanding them around and he was doing commentary. And -1, man, he's a natural. He's a real natural for the business. He was killing it on commentary. He was popping everyone. Told Excalibur to shut up and be quiet, and Taz was laughing and he's showing off his muscles, and it was good stuff, man. It was really good stuff. Really good stuff. Alex says, why are we getting a Shaq match? I'm not sure. If I had to guess, it would be some sort of either TNT interference, them wanting to grow the ratings, or it may be AEW saying like, hey, if we can have access to these people, maybe we'll take them. Maybe we'll get a ratings boost. I don't know. Do I think that Shaq being on AEW will give it a ratings boost? Maybe a little bit. Do I think it's necessary? Absolutely not. Do I want to see it? Absolutely not. Nope. I do not. Not at all. Not even in the slightest. Marcel says, if they sign Eric, fans would say, stop signing WWE guys. Yeah, but those people are just dumb. Like, people still talking about stuff like that is just ridiculous. You know, I think that ship has sailed, and who cares where these guys worked before? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. You should just be happy that people are able to do what they do and get paid for it. You know, they're living their dreams. More wrestling is always positive. For me, it should never be like, of course, everyone's allowed to have their favorites, right? If your favorite show is Raw, good for you. I feel bad for you, but, you know, good for you. If your favorite shows are AEW or NXT, that's cool. If your favorite show is SmackDown, that is cool, man. If your favorite show is Impact, cool. You know, like, everyone should be able to coexist. There shouldn't be some, well, WWE is the biggest brand, so, like, everyone else should go out of business. Like, you should be able to, even if you just like Raw and SmackDown, if you're not into AEW or you're not into NXT, you should be happy that other people are allowed to do their jobs. You should be happy that wrestling is getting seen by more viewers. Yeah, you should be happy for the future of the business and more eyes on the product, if anything. It shouldn't be like, oh, well, I like Impact, so I want Impact to grow so large that they buy AEW, and then once they do that, they'll just blow up and they'll be so crazy that they'll just buy WWE. Like, there's room for everyone to eat here. There's absolutely room for everyone to eat. So hopefully people will eventually get over that. They probably won't, but it is what it is, I guess. James says, do you think Mikey Ruckus makes way better music than Def Rebel? Who is Def Rebel? I'm not quite sure who that is. But I have really enjoyed the music that Mikey Ruckus has been making for AEW, for sure. Warrior says, wrestlers are wrestlers. What they do is a job. They can't just stop working places because they were from a certain company. Yeah, like, so in that instance, like, anyone that has worked for WWE just can't work, period, because they worked at WWE. That's like being mad that you go to McDonald's and you're like, oh, I just saw this guy working at Burger King last week. I can't eat here. This guy worked at Burger King before? Psh, wow. How could you have someone that worked from Burger King here? I'm trying to eat McDonald's. Like, bro, it don't even matter. Who cares? Colby says Def Rebel is the guy who does NXT music. Oh, I like NXT music as well. I don't think there's any sort of competition between the music people. Leroy says, who is Kenny Omega going to defend the AEW World title against at Revolution? Probably Jon Moxley. I would assume they'll have a rematch. Shaq in AEW is like when Dennis Rodman was in WCW. Yeah, I don't see the Shaq thing ending very well, to be honest. I don't. The thing that they have going for him is that it's a tag team match. So I don't know if the thought process behind all of this is to get more eyes on the match so that Jade Cargill and Red Velvet can get more eyes on them. I honestly, I don't know, but like I was saying, at least it's a tag team match so that they can kind of get Shaq out. But I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. They did reschedule AEW Revolution as well, if you guys noticed. Who is Bad Bunny? I don't know. He's some sort of rapper, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, he's performing at the Royal Rumble. I'm assuming he's going to perform that Booker T song. Not in my wheelhouse of music that I listen to. So I've heard his name only because of the Booker T thing. But other than that, I don't know anything about him. Like I said, not my style of music here. Warrior says no celebrity wrestling appearance will ever beat RoboCop in WCW. Wow. I'm not familiar with that. It might be maybe a good thing that I don't know about that. Flash says, I wouldn't be mad if we got Omega versus Mox versus Pac at Revolution. That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. But I would like to see Pac get his own match. Marcel says, Bad Bunny is apparently the most famous artist today, and I have no idea who he is. Really? Well, I mean, good for them, I guess. But yeah, I have no idea either. That's not my style of music that I listen to. And I don't really pay attention to celebrities other than just like wrestling stuff. So couldn't tell you. Big Chicken says, do you think Finn Balor will join the Undisputed Era? I'm not sure. They've kind of teased it quite often. This is like the 4th time or so that they've teased something like that happening. I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind it at all. Finn Balor's definitely going to need something to do. I doubt he's going to want to go back to Raw or SmackDown. So who knows? Marcel says he's a Latin star. Maybe he's famous in the Latin countries like Despacito. Oh, I guess that would make sense. Bad Bunny has a lot of fans in Puerto Rico, so that's probably why we don't know him. Fair enough. James says, from now on, can you just refer to Goldberg as Mike Iceberg? No, I prefer saying Goldberg, personally. King G says, dream match, Good Brothers versus Young Bucks versus Usos versus Undisputed Era. That would be crazy. One of the matches that I personally would love to see is the Elite. So the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega versus the New Day. I think that would be a banger. An absolute banger right there. Alex says, but the women's division is the worst part of AEW. So you need Shaq to help? ? I guess. I don't know. We've talked about this a couple times, and I'll probably save this for a little bit later when we get on the subject of the Britt Baker match and stuff like that. But I think the talent is there. I think at this point in AEW, the talent is there. But like I said, we'll talk about that more when we get to that spot. What is your opinion about Hook actually doing something tonight? It was good. I liked it. The whole like Darby and Sting thing was kind of silly. But we'll talk about that when we get into the show as well. Flash says, Bad Bunny is a rapper. If you haven't listened to his music, you don't miss anything. He is just a big fan of wrestling. He made videos with Ric Flair and Stone Cold. Oh, you know what? I think I've seen the Stone Cold one. I saw someone say that he was a huge fan of wrestling as well, and I saw him in a bunch of pictures with wrestlers. So that's cool. I mean, good for him, man. That's probably a huge goal for him, and so happy that he can check those boxes. If you're into the kind of music that I like the more grimy, lyrical kind of rap, Griselda is huge wrestling fans as well. So Benny the Butcher, Westside Gunn, and Conway. I've seen Westside Gunn at all of the AEW events I've went to. He's sitting front row. It'd be very cool for them to do something with AEW. Griselda also made a Hurt Business song as well, which is pretty cool. I love the crossovers with hip hop and wrestling, but actual hip hop, not mumble nonsense. Marcel says, so is the Bucks versus Good Brothers happening at Revolution? I would bet money on it. Yeah, that's what I would go with. Big Chicken says, even if you escape the spoilers of number 30 in the Rumble, Michael Cole will be like, remember, we know that next entrant is. Yeah, I don't think that anyone is going to really be able to escape finding out who the 1, 2, and 30 entrants are into the men's and women's Royal Rumble. It's going to be impossible. Everyone's going to be talking about it. Even if they're lackluster, I don't think you'll be able to escape it, especially if you plan on watching the Royal Rumble. They're probably going to announce it a million times before they go through it. Marcel says, Tama Tonga is fuming on Twitter right now. Oh, I can only imagine. Let me see here. Let's see what good old Tama Tonga is up to right now. I have to use him as bait. Let's see. Has he been replying to people? Nope, he hasn't. But I'm sure we'll hear more from him. Sure, we will hear more from him. Flash says, I don't know why, but I would love to see Rick Ross doing a song for Hurt Business. I don't know why. I feel like he'd fit with that. But the Griselda one, hey, That's my thing, man. Griselda's huge right now. Savi says Father Rollins is number 30. I could definitely see that. James says if Ronda Rousey was WWE is fake, then why can't she just go to AEW? I mean, I don't think that was any sort of negative thing against WWE by saying that they're fake. I just think that she wasn't aware of the etiquette, I guess you would say. That it's not necessarily fake, it's just predetermined. People get pretty offended when you say fake because it kind of insinuates that they're not actually taking bumps, they're not actually risking their bodies and stuff like that. But predetermined is the correct word, so I don't think she meant anything by it. I think that that's just what she meant. And I mean, nothing would change in AEW. I mean, it's all the same in terms of wrestling. Watch them say that the 30th entrant is a mystery participant. God. I wouldn't put it past them, man. I also wouldn't put it past them to announce who number 30 is and have it be like R-Truth or something, and have him come out in the Women's Royal Rumble again, or have him come out at 20 or something, or have someone beat him up and come out and take his place. I don't know. This is something that I'll probably save to talk about for the Friday post show, but WrestleVotes has talked about Royal Rumble and stuff. But this is an AEW Dynamite post show, so I don't think we'll dive too deeply into that kind of stuff here. Big Chicken says I have really low hopes for this Royal Rumble. I do too going into it, but I have hopes that they'll pull through. They've had some pretty decent pay-per-views recently, so I'm just banking on that. Kenny says, I wish WWE and AEW got along. I would love to see Kenny Omega versus Finn Balor. That would be an incredible match. But I don't think that anyone in WWE would be able to put their egos aside, because when you do stuff like that, people have to lose. So who goes over and who looks up at the lights? Probably pretty hard to figure out who does what. So who knows? Maybe when Finn Balor's contract is up with WWE, maybe he will head on over to AEW. Let's see. When is Finn Balor's contract up? Let's see if we can find this out here. Okay. So this is from Wrestling Inc. and the page is not found. Cool. Is there a cached? Moxley versus The Fiend would be great too. That's an interesting one for sure. Okay, let's see here. MJF. I'm just gonna do a search here. Finn. He's not even on here. What? Come on, man. Come on. WWE contract expiration tracker from Wrestle Talk. They got Finn Balor on here. No one's got Finn Balor on their page, really? No one knows when Finn Balor's contract is up? Really? Wrestling contract expiration dates? Fightful? Come on, Fightful. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Oh, no Finn Balor. No Finn Balor. All right, so I have no idea. No idea. Marcel says, I think that WrestleVote's tweet from yesterday means The Fiend is winning. Interesting. Interesting. Like I said, I'm going to save that for Friday. We'll talk about that on Friday. I think it could mean multiple things. I don't think personally it's The Fiend. I think scares the death out of me is more of a, I mean, it could be something to go on with The Fiend, but I think it's something bad. Warrior says, so is it safe to say the whole Jay White stuff was an obvious work since the hype for it has died out? I think so. I think it was a work from the whole time. I do. I haven't been looking, but I haven't seen anything about it recently. And back at that time, it was just all over the place. So yeah, I'm assuming it was all just a work. It worked, at least for a little bit. Marcel says gold winning. Yeah, yep. I think so. That's one option that I have. Lana, I was more so thinking that this was tied into the men's, but who knows? Who knows? Obi James says the winner will be Goldberg and Charlotte. Oh God, man. How terrible would that be? How terrible would that be? Jesus. Absolutely terrible, man. Absolutely terrible. All right, let's start to get in the show here. About 30 minutes into the show, just some chilling. King G says, "Go, go, go, go." Yes, 100%, 100%. All right. Ryan Alvarez said Lana is maybe the 30th entry, and we'll just wait out the outside and win like at SummerSlam. Yeah, I think that is that's the rumored finish that they've been talking about. We've talked about that a couple times for a couple months now. So I mean, I don't know, because Lana hasn't been on TV for quite a while now, so I'm not sure. James says the yellow LED lights on SmackDown are the tribal lights since Roman is champ. What yellow LED lights are you talking about? Am I missing something here? Yeah, I mean, I could totally see that though. The whole Lana thing, I could definitely see that being a thing that actually happens, unfortunately, which is pretty sad, man. How's it going, Hoodie? How you doing, my friend? Welcome. We are just about to start talking about the show here. Just about to start getting into the mix of things. So, tonight's episode of AEW Dynamite started off with Lance Archer taking on Eddie Kingston. And man, this was a brutal match, to say the least. Lance Archer literally beat the living hell out of Eddie Kingston for the entire match, almost the entire match, until like towards the very, very end. Flash says that Eddie's bump was scary. Yeah, dude. That it was like a choke slam over the ropes onto the side of the ring, like the apron part. Looked absolutely brutal. He literally beat the living hell out of him. And then towards the very end, Eddie Kingston caught some momentum as well. And we saw a distraction finish here tonight. During the beginning of this match, Lance Archer did not want Jake the Snake Roberts to come out with him, so he told him to head to the back. So towards the end of this match, we saw the Butcher and the Blade dragging Jake the Snake out of the left tunnel over there. When that was happening, of course, Lance Archer was distracted, and Eddie Kingston was down, and the Bunny came in and slipped him a pair of, they called them knuckle dusters, so kind of like some brass knuckles. He was able to pop Lance Archer in the dome with them and knock him clean out, and that is how he got his 1-2-3 victory. This is what I say all of the time. I probably will never be a fan of distraction finishes like this, but this is a clear example of when I say this every single show. Everything has a certain time and a certain place, and I think this one fit. To be honest. I think it's a good way to continue the feud between Lance Archer and Eddie Kingston, especially since we saw Lance Archer just be completely dominant in this entire match, beating the living hell out of Eddie Kingston this whole time. So I think it's a good way to continue their feud. I think it fits perfectly because obviously Eddie Kingston, the Butcher, the Blade, and the Bunny are a bunch of heel cheaters. And so I just think it all fits in. And when you don't do these things 5 times a night, they definitely have more of an effect. So that's what I like to see. Still, like I said, I don't think I'll ever be a fan of distraction finishes, but there's a time and a place for everything. And I think in this certain instance, it fit in just fine. So I would assume that we're going to be seeing Lance Archer and Eddie Kingston once again. Maybe we could be seeing some sort of tag match if Archer can find some people to team up with him to take on Eddie, the Butcher, and the Blade. I don't know. Obi James says, I couldn't watch the match. The live feed went out. Yeah, that's crazy. So there was some sort of outage for TNT, I guess. Everyone was having some issues watching the show. Not quite sure what had happened with that. That was kind of weird because I was watching. So the way that I watch Dynamite is through DirecTV's like online portal. So I sign into an account and just watch it for there. And it worked perfectly fine for me through there. I didn't have any sort of outages, which I thought was weird because it was TNT. So not quite sure. James says Perazo versus Sheeta soon. Man, I would love to see that. I would love to see Deonna Purrazzo work with someone from AEW. I'm a huge fan of Deonna Purrazzo, so it would be really great to see that happen. Be really great. Hey Enigma, how you doing, my friend? Welcome to the stream. We kind of just started talking about the show here, just getting into things. Marcel says, have you seen MJF's Twitter, by the way? That dude gets some heat. I have not. What is he doing now? What is MJF doing today? I tried. Gonna be the hair dye out of the blondes up next. My bad. No E. Granted, I don't. Let's see here. Let's see what his comments are probably terrible. Did you really? You kind of threw Wardlow under the bus to save face of me. Yeah, you tried. Yeah, man, I can see a lot of people always being mad at MJF. And Domingo says, can Shaq even bump? I have no idea. I have no idea why any of this is happening. We'll talk about that a little bit more when we get up there. Marcel says, people get so mad. Yeah, I mean, if there's one thing that MJF is good at doing, it's pissing people off. That man can literally do like nothing and piss people off. I'll never forget too. I can't remember if I saw it on Twitter, if my fiance saw it and told me about it, but there was like a group of people at a coffee shop or whatever, and MJF was like apparently just standing there staring at someone, and that person ended up buying MJF coffee, and he was just like, fuck you, and left or something afterwards. Good stuff. Marcel says, did you see that comment MJF towards that kid? Are you talking about when he said fuck that kid for -1? Or are you talking about when he was flipping that guy off? Manic, who is probably not TJP versus Jungle Boy. Sure. Compared him to Darby. No, his recent tweets. No, I don't think so. Unless it was a reply. Let me look under his replies. No, I'm not seeing it. Oh God. My God. So it's a post from Jennifer showing a picture of her kid who says, MJF, my son is not thrilled with your figure because he wanted Darby Allin's figure instead. #mom fail. MJF quote tweeted it and said, makes sense. Your son looks like a drug addict, but is a straight edge, just like Darby. God. This guy, man. He's invincible. Invincible on Twitter. He gets the heat that this guy gets, man, from this guy will talk shit to anyone and everyone. Like, no one is safe from MJF whatsoever. I even see him talking crap about people who like post pictures of them in his shirts and stuff like that. It's hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Anthony says, sorry, I'm late. No worries, man. We're pretty much just getting into the show here. Just getting into the show. Flash says, MJF, the ultimate heel. Yeah, dude, MJF is another one of those people that is going to be a huge star. He is eventually going to be a massive, massive star. 100%. Leroy says, Johnny Gargano versus Dexter Lumis versus Kushida for the North American Championship at TakeOver. Is that official? Or are you just thinking that would be amazing? James says, I gotta go because I'm going to watch NXT now, so peace. No worries, man. Enjoy the show. It's pretty good. Thank you for tuning in. Enigma says, MJF must never turn face. Yeah, dude, it would be so weird. It would be so weird to see MJF as a face. I'm not quite sure how I would feel about that. I'm not quite sure how that would even go. It would be so weird. So weird. He's like the ultimate heel. Like, it just seems impossible to see him as a baby face. I don't know. Maybe he could do it. Maybe he could surprise us all. Can I be the one who always does the typical Aleister Black question? Sure. Sure you can. That could be your gimmick, Anthony. There is no updates on Aleister Black currently, unfortunately. I don't think anything's going on with Aleister Black. Who knows, though? Maybe we'll see him make a return for the Royal Rumble. Who knows? There's, 12? There's 12 or 13 spots that have not been claimed yet. So we'll see. We shall see. MJF was face at the beginning of Dynamite. God, I don't even remember, man. Don't even remember. But he's too good as a heel to turn face now. I think he needs to stick with it, personally. It would be impossible to turn him face. I'm just thinking about how crazy it would be to see him as just a huge baby face, like just the face of the company. It would be so weird. Alex says, are we getting Sammy versus MJF at Revolution? Yes. King G says, why was Edge announced? I think that they want people to watch the Royal Rumble. This is something that I'll talk about probably on Friday or for the Royal Rumble predictions live stream, but people are trying to justify it that there's going to be no fans there, so surprises don't really matter. I completely disagree with that. I don't think it really matters. Obviously there's a huge difference between fans being there and fans not being there, but I don't think that you should throw everything out the window and act like you don't need surprises. If anything, that should be what the whole entire thing is based off of, to be honest. Like, the more surprises, the more hype people are going to be, the better for everything. And it just goes to one of the things that, we haven't really talked about for a couple live streams, is that you want to create those moments, those must-see moments, and the Royal Rumble is perfect for that. The Royal Rumble is absolutely perfect. There's no other place to do that better than to create surprises and to catch people off guard. So I hate to see it personally. I hate to see it. Some people are better off as just heels, and MJF is one of them. Absolutely, I agree. It's like turning The Miz face. It never works. Yeah, The Miz is much better as a heel. Much better. I miss The Miz on his Intercontinental Championship reign. That stuff was so good. That was so good. I hope that one day he'll go back to that, because the current state of The Miz and John Morrison is just trash. Sorry. Saba says, one thing I like about both AEW and NXT is that the world champion isn't there every week. It is special when Kenny and Balor compete, unlike Drew. Exactly, man. I say this all the time. I say it all the time. They use Drew too much. They focus on him too much. He should not be wrestling every single week on Raw. He should just be on promos, or maybe even not even be there. His appearance should be way more special. And NXT, early NXT was the perfect example of that, because people like your Johnny Garganos, your Tommaso Ciampas, like Velveteen Dream, Adam Cole, they weren't on every single episode of NXT wrestling. So you knew when Tommaso Ciampa was advertised for an episode of NXT in a match, you knew that you had to tune in for it. That's a big deal to tune in for. It's not like, oh, okay, well, the same people on this one, so okay, I saw Johnny, Adam, Tommaso, like all these guys wrestled last week. Cool. So you really have to make it feel more special. And I also say the same thing about Drew McIntyre's entrance. The whole kilt gimmick and the sword and stuff, it's cool, but that should be like a big deal. That should be like a pay-per-view entrance. It shouldn't be an every time the guy walks out. Like, if the guy's coming out to do a promo, I don't want to see him there in his panties and his kilt and his big ass sword taking 8 minutes to walk down to the ring. Like, have this man's in his normal everyday clothes and just come out. Like, everything doesn't need to be a huge production. I really, really, really wish that they would change that. Iqbal says AEW just announced Serena Deeb versus Riho. Yes, we talked about that at the very start of the show. Interesting to see Riho back in AEW. Flash says Edge's announcement was a clear example of WWE pressing a panic button. I got a lot of shit for it the other day, and I'm sticking to it. I'm doubling down and saying that there's no hype for the Royal Rumble. I'm sorry. That's just the way it is. You could be mad at it. You could be happy about it. I don't care. But the truth is, There was no hype for this year's Royal Rumble. There's just not. There's really not. You can argue that not having a clear winner is a good thing. It is. It is a good thing, but I think that's something that we'll talk more in depth about on Friday and for the Royal Rumble one, because it's just not. It's just not. I'll go into details about that on Friday and Saturday, though. I agree. There's no hype. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Obi James says the only hype for the Rumble is that it's the Rumble. Exactly. And that's not, I'm not saying that there's no, man, it's, how would you put this into words? It's not like there's absolutely no hype for the Royal Rumble, because obviously the Royal Rumble matches themselves are always big deals regardless. But the AOW, I'm reading text. The Royal Rumble as a whole, as the pay-per-view, has absolutely no hype behind it. No hype. There's nothing really going into it that's very exciting other than them just being the Royal Rumbles. That's it. That's it. Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens is probably the most exciting thing that's actually teased for it. No one gives a shit to see Drew McIntyre versus Goldberg. It's not. Kyle says, hear me out. I think the Edge decision was ultimately a good one. There's no way the return would have been as good. We all knew he's coming back, but wouldn't have been as special. I mean, I can agree that it wouldn't have been as special, but it still would have been special. And I think that there's a clear difference between, there's a huge difference between us all knowing the Edge is going to show up at the Royal Rumble and then just have him show up, because it's still exciting. It's still exciting to hear that music. It's still exciting to see him just come out. It's less exciting when we're like, okay, Edge is definitely going to be in the Royal Rumble, right? Like, he's got to be. And then they announce it on TV, and then it's like, okay, I knew that he was going to be in it. So now when he shows up, it's less exciting. I mean, I feel like maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just me, but I feel like it's less exciting. Even though it's exciting that he's participating, it just takes away the special spot. Corey says AOW for president. Yeah, man. Woos. Some woos for that. Woos for that. Marcel says apparently Riddle versus Bobby ain't happening at the Royal Rumble. Crazy. So what are they even going to do? What are they even going to do? King G says I missed that Claymore zigzag finish. That was a good one. That was a good one. Kyle says all I mean is compared to last year, it would have been underwhelming. Yeah, I agree. There's no fans there, but I still think there's a huge difference between having it actually be a surprise and spoiling it. That's just me. That's just me. Corey says Gilbert should win the Rumble and face Goldberg to see who's the real legend. There you go. Match of the century right there. Match of the century. Safa says, I don't think many people realize that Edge lost his first rivalry after returning after 9 years. He did. I'm happy as long as Edge isn't facing Randy Orton. That's all I care about. Okay, all right. Enough WWE talk. Enough WWE talk. This is an AEW Dynamite post-show, so let's get into it a little more here. Next up, after the first match, was a promo from Jon Moxley. Jon Moxley was super confused, had no idea what's going on. He's like, I'm enemies with the Elite. They're working with the Good Brothers, who are also tag champions, and they're working for Impact and this and that. And the Elite is fine. The Bullet Club is fine. But then I'm rivals with Eddie Kingston, but then he's rivals with Penta and Rey Fenix. So I guess we're friends. And then yada, yada, yada. It was Moxley math is what I was going to call it, until he gave us that classic quote. And I quote from Jon Moxley, I like to have sex in the morning because it's a good way to start the day. And I guess he's not wrong. I wasn't expecting to hear that on here tonight, but this is a segment that was intended to build up the match that they're going to have next week at Beach Bash. It's going to be a good one. I wonder if Raw might have new wrestlers on their roster. You mean after the Royal Rumble? Corey says show was fire. Everyone says no lies detected. No lies detected here. So yeah, we have this big match here coming up for Beach Bash. Should be a good one. I think that is going to be a huge main event, and it's actually pretty interesting to see that NXT is not countering. At least to my knowledge, they have not announced anything for next week. So gonna be a big week for AEW Dynamite next week compared to NXT. That had me dying. Moxley math, the sequel to Steiner math. Yes, absolutely. Even though there was no math involved, but I just think Moxley's math is a perfect title for it. Perfect title. I wish Moxley would mention his upcoming match with Kenta. Man, every time I see John Moxley on my screen, I think that Kenta's lurking somewhere in the back, ready to knock him down. Marcel says Beach Bash has only 3 matches. Weird. You're right. It does only have 3 matches so far. Well, it has 3 matches and a wedding, which we all know is not going to go very well. It'll be interesting to see AEW's take on a wedding. It seems like every wrestling promotion just has to get their hands on some sort of wedding at some point. Flash says NXT will have Ciampa and Thatcher versus Undisputed Era. I think that's a very good counter. A very good counter there. The wedding must get a lot of time. Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming that they'll have some other stuff. I'm assuming they'll have some other stuff on the card. They're typically, AEW is usually really good about announcing their cards for things, but yeah, they haven't done it yet. So I guess we'll just have to pay some attention to them and see what's going on here. Let me see and see if they've announced anything else here. Oh God. Beth Phoenix said, my commentators can beat up your commentators, and put a picture of the NXT team. And Excalibur said, want to put $5 on it, and put the picture of -1 flexing with Excalibur and Taz. Incredible. Alexa Bliss versus Anna Jay. Oh my God. No, I always forget to. No. No, turn off. Turn off. God damn it. I hate this thing. Okay. Yeah, I'm not seeing any sort of updates. Yeah, no, I'm not seeing any sort of updates for what is going down at Beach Bash. But since we are talking about Beach Bash, before we continue on, let's talk about this tag team. Actually, you know what? We'll hold off on that till the end. We'll talk about that till the end. Man, I always forget to mute this Echo Show that I have sitting on my desk. Corey says, do dinosaurs regrow horns? I hope so. OB James says either Orange Cassidy is going to ruin the wedding or Penelope will get the hots for Miro. Yeah, I'm not sure, man. Oh, it is Beach Break. Have I been saying Beach Bash? Oh man, I think I have. I've been saying Beach Bash like all night. Whoops. But yes, it is Beach Break. Guarantee the wedding goes smoothly, just as a shot at WWE. That'd be funny. That would be funny. WWE has so many weird weddings, and Impact has people murdered on weddings. Yeah, man, I didn't know that Impact was such a murder zone. Absolutely insane how many people die on Impact Television. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. So after this John Moxley promo here, we got to see Sting and Darby Allin do a little promo here. The visual was cool, the filming of it was cool, but it was kind of silly. It looked very silly. It was very Retribution-esque to me. Sting calling Darby a hoodlum, and then Darby throwing his skateboard through already broken glass windows. And then Sting just kind of hitting the windows with a bat. It was kind of odd, kind of silly to me. But man, just seeing Darby Allin and Sting stand side by side is crazy. Absolutely crazy. It's an incredible visual, and I love it. I'm not sure how this tag team street fight match is going to go. I think we all believe that it's going to be cinematic, which probably would help Sting as much as possible, but it's exciting. It's exciting to see where this is all going to go with Sting and Darby. We don't know if he's going to be a mentor to him. We don't know if he's going to end up challenging him for the TNT Championship. I have no clue, man. No clue. Warrior says, Sting, I'm something of a hoodlum myself. It's perfect. Absolutely perfect. Corey says, that's because they live in the streets. So perfect for them to have a street fight. Enigma says, Sting and Darby are Batman and Robin with face paint. There you go. There you go. You could even do Batman Beyond with Sting being Batman and Darby being the new Batman Beyond. I can't see Sting taking the skateboard to the back at this age, so I'm going with a mentor. Yeah, but who knows? Maybe all of Sting's matches will be cinematic. I wouldn't mind. I mean, I think that Darby could do cinematic matches, and I think something that would be pretty cool and unique, I think, would be a cinematic match with Darby and Sting that's black and white in color. No color. No color, just black and white. That way it would kind of fit with Darby's weird ass videos that he does. Maybe it could even be at the Darby Allin compound. Who knows? Lo, welcome back, my friend. Good to see you. Good to see you. We kind of just started talking about the show. We are on Sting and Darby Allin right now. Corey says, maybe it's just me, but I think Sting could go for a good 10 minutes, and black and white would be amazing. Yeah, I just think it would be something different. King G says, I just sent you something on Instagram. When you look at it closely. All right, let me take a look. Let me take a look here. Oh. Wow, really? They really posted this? I'm assuming that you're not at Heel Ziggler, King G. All right, this is probably worth bringing up on the screen. BT Sport. Okay, hold on a second. Let me bring this up. BT Sport WWE. Man, what a bunch of clickbait. Jesus. Oh my God. Okay. All right. Yeah. So I got it. Let me put this picture on the screen here. 1 second. I gotta download it really quick. Okay. Let's see here. We're just gonna do this quick and dirty here. I don't gotta do it all fancy. Image. Okay, here we go. There you go. Look at this. Look at this. What a bunch of clickbait. All right. So you can clearly see some Rowdy Piper skirt here for Ronda Rousey. The CM Punk taped arms, hands. I'm assuming those are the Undertaker's gloves. I don't know what the thing next to it is, the little baton thing. I have no idea what that would be. We got AJ Styles, Triple H, John Cena, Trish Stratus, Edge, Booker T. Who's this supposed to be in the top middle? And RVD. Oh, it's a switchblade. Oh, Lesnar gloves. Lesnar gloves. Okay, yeah, I'll go with Lesnar gloves over Undertaker. Wow, look at these bastards. Who's the guy in the pink? Who's the top middle one? Mr. Perfect? Yeah, I don't know who that's supposed to be. Switchblade for Jay White. Wow, man. And they put them all in one little box. Wow. That's funny. Mr. Perfect? Okay. That's funny. See, this is why I'm telling you, man. The Royal Rumble has no hype. It has no hype. Look at what they're doing. Look at what they're doing. They didn't need to do this. Oh my God, man. Oh my God. You love to see it. You love to see it. Wow. More ammo for my Royal Rumble live stream. And none of them will show up? Yeah, exactly. Well, I wouldn't say none of them. I wouldn't say none of them. It is really funny just to see them struggling with the Royal Rumble. It sucks, man. Yeah, it's sad. It's really sad. Absolutely insane, man. Just thought it'd be interesting. Yeah, very, very interesting. Thank you. I wouldn't have seen that. So I appreciate that. I appreciate that. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. All right, so the next thing here on AEW Dynamite was the first tag team match of MJF and Chris Jericho being the official tag team of the Inner Circle. This was MJF and Chris Jericho taking on the Varsity Blondes, which is Griff Garrison. Who the is Griff Garrison? And also Brian Pillman Jr. Griff Garrison and Brian Pillman Jr. are fantastic, by the way. I think there's a chance Cena shows Lesnar. I would say almost a certain. I would agree with both of those, Kyle. I would agree. Sebasish says, "What is your opinion on Kenny Omega versus Roman Reigns?" I mean, that'd be cool, but I don't see anything. I don't see that ever happening ever. I don't see Kenny Omega leaving any AEW ever, to be honest. And Roman Reigns, I don't see him ever leaving WWE. And I really don't think there will ever be a crossover. Enigma says, "I miss Les Sex Gods." Safa says, "I forgot to mention it, but they teased Cross and Escobar tonight." I saw that. That was kind of weird. I didn't post it because I missed it, and then I didn't quite understand why Karrion Kross would be going for the NXT Cruiserweight Champion, Santos Escobar. It doesn't really make any sense to me. Corey says, "I read Vince wants to pretty much cash out because he doesn't want to pay wrestlers and knows he's going to have because of Jimmy Wang Yang." Oh, are you talking about the politician guy that wants to come after them? That's so interesting that you brought that up, because that is a topic that is going to be discussed tomorrow on the Peacock stream. So if you want more information on something like that, make sure to tune in tomorrow for the Peacock stream. It'll be in the afternoon. It'll be a little bit different. So yeah, there's a lot of interesting stuff I need to write all this stuff down actually to talk about so that I don't forget it, because there's a lot of stuff in that we kind of can assume from this Peacock deal. So there's a lot to talk about, a lot. And that's one of them. Joe Pop Nation says Griff and Pillman are lit. But I like the Varsity Blondes a lot. Brian Pillman is a future TNT champion. I have a lot of faith in them. Pillman Jr. has a bright future. I agree with all of you. Escobar called out Cross last week because of how he got injured and was a weak champion. Oh, interesting. I missed that as well. Marcel says, "Gotta go, AEW. I'll check out the rest of the stream later." No worries, my friend. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate always seeing you here. So hopefully I'll see you tomorrow for the Peacock one. If not, I will see you on Friday. Anyways, yeah, MJF and Chris Jericho here taking on the Varsity Blondes. This was a pretty good match here. It was funny to see that Chris Jericho, I can't remember who he beat at the end. I can't remember if it was Pillman or Griff Garrison, but Jericho laid one of them out with the oh god, why can't I think of what his elbow is called? His elbow finisher. I can't think of what it's called right now. Anyways, he laid him out with the elbow strike, and so it was Griff Garrison. So he laid him out with the elbow, and then a lot of people were talking shit about Chris Jericho and his lion salt last week because it was pretty weak. The Judas effect. Yes, thank you. So Chris Jericho hits the Judas effect on Griff Garrison, who's coming down off of the top rope there. And then obviously he's laid out. That's his finisher. Everyone was making fun of Chris Jericho last week for not hitting a solid moonsault. So of course he had to go prove everyone wrong, and he went and hit a picture perfect moonsault to close out the match to get that 1, 2, 3. I thought that was pretty funny. Everyone was making fun of him, saying that Chris Jericho just can't hang anymore. So it was nice. It was nice to see. Nice to see. Warrior says it's been a long time since the Lion Salt won a match. How's it going, Shelvis? Welcome to the stream, my friend. So we saw what appeared to be a pretty united Inner Circle after the match here. They did their signature middle fingers in the middle of the ring, but if you look closely, you'll notice a couple of things here. MJF and Sammy Guevara are staring directly at each other, not in a good way, not in a good way at all. And of course, Wardlow is being Wardlow, and he's just staring straight at Jake Hager as well. I like how the commentators said that the Lion Salt was unnecessary. I like that too. I don't think that MJF will be the first one to turn in the Inner Circle. Me either. So at this point, I'm thinking it's going to be Sammy Guevara or it's going to be Santana and Ortiz. I think those will be the first to split from the group. And honestly, I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. I think that if Sammy Guevara splits from the Inner Circle, it could propel him up the ladder as a babyface. And I think Sammy would do excellent as a babyface in AEW. He's come a long way with the Inner Circle. I think the Inner Circle has helped them maybe as much as they can. So I think it'd be very interesting to have Sammy Guevara split off from them sometime fairly soon and just become a babyface. If he's going to feud with MJF at Revolution, have Sammy Guevara get that big win over MJF after splitting from the Inner Circle. And I think that could help propel him up. I think that sometime in the future, we're definitely going to see Sammy Guevara compete in the TNT Championship scene. And I think he would be an excellent TNT champion as a face as well. Shelvis says Sammy versus MJF is going to be a banger. I completely agree. Corey says Sammy is a star. I completely agree with that as well. Completely agree. And I don't think that having MJF and Chris Jericho win the Inner Circle tag team match was the best idea, but if things start to shape up the way that I think they will, I'm not too mad at it. Not too mad at it at all. I think this is just another one of those little pieces that's going to help eventually break up the Inner Circle. And I think that this is where we'll see Santana and Ortiz depart from the group. And I think you take the same thing that I just said with Sammy Guevara and apply that with Pride and Powerful, Santana and Ortiz, them turning and even them getting a win over Chris Jericho and MJF on a pay-per-view. If it's not Sammy that breaks up first, it could be them. So Santana and Ortiz versus Chris Jericho and MJF at Revolution. That could be a pretty big one as well. That could be a pretty good one as well. And I think that would help propel them up as baby faces and in the tag team scene. We have a lot of amazing tag teams in AEW. And unfortunately, there's only one set of tag team championships. So only one team can really be in the spotlight and can really, flourish with those titles. So I kind of feel like they did this just to keep Santana and Ortiz featured every single week and kind of have them involved in something without having them getting title opportunities and losing and stuff like that. So that's where I think all of this is going. I'm not sure where Wardlow and Jake Hager fit into this. I'm not sure if Wardlow's going to end up being loyal to MJF for a long time. I definitely can see Wardlow also. I mean, man, I think that I think that all of this could probably end the same way, because I think Wardlow could do the same thing, and probably against MJF. I think if Wardlow's going to turn face, I think the match is Wardlow and MJF as well. So there's still a lot of interesting things that can happen with the Inner Circle. And now that MJF and Wardlow have joined the Inner Circle, I'm not as mad with them having turmoil and having problems. I wouldn't mind seeing a 2.0, I guess, or a 3.0 version at this point of the Inner Circle where it's different. So we could have an Inner Circle that is Wardlow, MJF, Chris Jericho, and Jake Hager, with Pride and Powerful gone and Sammy Guevara gone. There's lots of things that we could see, and I wouldn't mind that at all. I wouldn't mind it at all. Obi James says, I saw that Sammy and Hager and MJF and Jericho are in the Battle Royal. Interesting. Yeah, I have that picture saved because I'm going to talk about that when we get to the end of the show here. I'm looking at it. Pride and Powerful is in that match as well, though. They're all in that match. So we could definitely see some turmoil and some more hatred brewing up in that match for sure. Enigma says, after the Inner Circle disbands, Jericho needs to be on the commentary team. Interesting. I think Jericho probably has a little bit left in him. I don't think it's quite time to hang it up yet. I just think he needs to be involved in the right feuds and putting people over at this point. It's a real shame that the Chris Jericho and Orange Cassidy thing didn't lead to more for Orange Cassidy. I'm not sure if that is a failed feud or not. The crowd has always seemed to be behind Orange Cassidy, so I'm not quite sure where that was ever intended to go since he's a gimmick wrestler. But it really sucks to see them do all that work, put all that effort into Orange Cassidy, only to never really follow up with it. Iqbal says, if MJF vs. Sammy happened in Revolution, I hope Sammy wins. I can't remember the last time Sammy won a single match. Well, I can tell you when Sammy Guevara last won a single match. Let me tell you. Sammy Guevara. You tune into the handy dandy cagematch.net to find these bad boys here. Let's see here. So the last time Sammy Guevara won a match was on AEW Dark, which was January 19th. He beat El Australiano. Also on December 30th, he beat Michael Nakazawa on AEW Dark. He defeated Aaron Solo on AEW Dark on December 29th. Let's see here. When was there a normal match here? Dark. Elite Deletion, he lost. Lost that. AEW Dark. Man, it looks like... So the last time that Sammy Guevara won a match was on August 27th. Sammy Guevara defeated Matt Hardy in the first ever AEW tables match on Dynamite. That match was 6 minutes and 41 minutes. So on Dynamite, it's been quite a while since Sammy Guevara has won a match, but he's constantly winning matches on Dark. Jericho will definitely put more guys over. Love that about him. Yeah, I think that's really what you need to do. That's really what you need to do at that point. Jericho's amazing, and Jericho's even good at commentary for putting people over and stuff. So I don't know. I guess we'll see. Maybe he'll put over MJF or Sammy Guevara or Pride and Powerful. Warrior says his feud with Jericho did get Cassidy into the TNT title picture. That's something. That's right. That's true. That is right. He was in the TNT championship picture. That's right. I completely forgot about that. Corey says, what do you think about the Matt Hardy and Hangman Page angle? We'll talk about that in just a minute. That's coming up next, I think, or very close to being next. So we'll talk about that in just a second. Do you think Matt Hardy is about to be done in the ring? Will he put more people over? I'm not sure if he's going to be done in the ring. I think that he's currently trying to help people. I mean, Matt Hardy has helped Private Party quite a bit. They're challengers for the Impact Tag Team Championships. They're featured on being the Elite constantly and stuff like that. So I think he's doing the right thing currently. I think he's doing the right thing. Will he return to the ring though? I have no clue. Maybe he's just taking it easy after all the beatings that he's received. Leroy says Sammy Guevara is the future of AEW. I completely agree with you. Completely agree. How's it going, Vinny Mac? How you doing tonight, man? Christopher says, which is your favorite new figure from the Unrivaled 4 series? The Matt Hardy one. I like the broken Matt Hardy and the Chase version of Matt Hardy as well, where he's in that black attire that he was. What was that for? I can't remember. I can't remember if that was for the Stadium Stampede or whatever, but when he was in that black outfit, I like those. I like those a lot. All right, so next up we had oh God, man. The Cody Rhodes segment. Enigma says, I want to see Sammy versus Ricky Starks. I think that'd be a good one too. I think the future of the TNT championship scene looks really good. Really, really good. There's a lot of awesome people to be in that scene. So that's why, I mean, it kind of sucks that this whole Sting and Darby thing has been drawn out so long and he hasn't really defended his championship much, because there's a lot of people, man. There's a lot of good people. There's a lot of really good matches to be had here in the TNT championship scene. So hopefully they get to it. Hopefully they get to it. Alex says, am I the only one who thinks that if the Bucks win the Battle Royal, they will choose Private Party? Probably. I think it's gonna be the Good Brothers, and I think that's probably what's actually gonna happen. No Hack says, I think that black attire was for the Dynamite street fight with Kenny. You might be right. Yeah, you might be right. That's the one where they originally chased him in the golf cart, right? I think you're right. I think you're correct about that. Christopher says, when he was in the black outfit, he teamed with Omega to face the Sex Gods on Dynamite. Perfect. Yep. Okay, so you guys are on the right track there. I'm not sure if that's the golf cart thing or not, but yeah, perfect. Anyways, I like that. I like that outfit. It looks really cool. Hopefully we haven't seen the last of Matt Hardy. Hopefully we haven't seen the last of him. I like all of his characters and I like how everything's going. He's doing great with Private Party, so I don't mind the current state of Matt Hardy, where he's at. I think it's good. So next up, we saw Cody Rhodes come out to the worst theme song in the world. Why they had to change it to this god-awful Snoop Dogg remix, I have no idea. Like, please, for the love of God, just put a Go Big Show or whatever that thing is. Put a thing up on that for the screen every time he comes out. We didn't need this change of music to understand that that's what's going on. Like, get rid of it. I don't think anyone likes it. No one likes the remixed version of Kingdom. It's so trash. So trash. It sucks. Ruins my favorite entrance. I hate it. Absolutely hate it. So anyways, Cody comes out to talk to Tony Schiavone here, talking about the remarks that Shaq made about him earlier. If you missed it, Shaq said that he's like a little girl with his blonde hair and all that. It's very funny. And he wants to have a match against Cody. So Cody came out here and said that originally it was supposed to be him and Brandy Rhodes taking on Jade Cargill and Shaq at AEW Revolution in a mixed tag match. But unfortunately, that cannot happen because Brandy is pregnant and they have a child on the way. So I was like, man, boy, did we dodge a bullet. Thank God. Thank God that we do not have to watch this train wreck. Oh, God bless Brandy Rhodes' pregnancy. She saved us. She saved us. Gerald says, I missed the original. It's stuck in my head. It's so good, man. The original is so good. Christopher says, I'm already used to Sasha's theme with Snoop, but yeah, I can't stand Cody's remix. I completely agree. Obi James says, I have Kingdom on my car playlist, so the new theme makes me sad. My fiance does too. It always shows up. We both have Apple Music, and it shows up in her favorites mixes all the time, so we always listen to it when we take her car places. Tova says, nobody asked for Cody versus Shaq. Yep, I agree. So to further on with this here, Cody ended up getting some advice from Arn Anderson here. And essentially Arn was kind of saying, you know, even though the Brandy is pregnant, you should still have this match with Shaq because you can still have this match, fly home, be with Brandy, and her pregnancy and all of that. And he ended up bringing out Red Velvet. Red Velvet has been featured a lot on AEW Dark, I believe. Let me take a look here. Red Velvet. I think, yeah, but like I said, I think she's been featured. Oh, she's got two names on here. Two T's. Yeah, so she's been featured on Dark like almost every week, it looks like. 72, 70, 67. So yeah, she's been featured on a lot of AEW Darks. Let's check out this win-loss here. 2 wins, 0 losses this year. Not bad. Not bad at all. So She comes out and talks a promo about how she's tired of Jade and all of that nonsense. So now it looks like, I guess they laid out a challenge for AEW Revolution. It'll be Cody Rhodes and Red Velvet taking on Jade Cargill and Shaq in a mixed tag match at AEW Revolution. And I don't know how to feel about it. I don't really know how to feel about this match happening. It's not something that most of us want to see, I think. I don't think that... I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. For me, it just seems like they might be doing some sort of cross promotion with the NBA here. Maybe TNT asked for something like this. They want Shaq to be on there to boost ratings. I don't know. Maybe Cody wants to work with Shaq. Maybe this is all a ruse to get Jade Cargill and Red Velvet over with people. I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea. What I do know is that everything that Cody's done ever since his TNT Championship reign, his final match with Brody Lee, and his match with Darby Allin where he lost the TNT Championship, he seems to have just been completely lost and not really doing anything, especially nothing of value. So I don't know. I guess he's just kind of lost in the shuffle at the moment. And the storylines that he has going is just not good. It's not good at all. I'm not sure if he's just the person that's going to take the helm for trying to make them more popular, for trying to get a hold of these celebrities and do stuff with them. I have no idea. Shaq in the ring wrestling is wild. Absolutely wild. Corey says Cody is the second coming of Jeff Jarrett. No Hack says Red Velvet is a dark favorite. Good to know. Good to know. Obi James says, I have a feeling Cody regrets the decision to never challenge for the championship. Yeah, probably. At this point, now he has to wrestle Shaq. Like, how is this going to work? How is Shaq going to wrestle Cody? I don't know, man. I don't know. Obi James says, I love Shaq, but I don't want to see him wrestle. I don't either. And I've said it a couple times. I don't mind if people want to come in who are interested in wrestling. One of the perfect examples, actually, who I'm surprised we haven't seen on Dynamite, is Stephen Amell. We saw Stephen Amell. He's had a couple. Let me actually look. Stephen Amell. He's had like what, 2 matches with AEW? Let's see here. Matches. So Stephen Amell has had, oh, they didn't even show his, All In. So he just had one at All In. So Stephen Amell and Christopher Daniels. This was great, man. This was good. So like people like that, I don't mind coming in. I don't mind seeing those kind of guys coming in if they can wrestle and they want to actually wrestle. Shaq is too big, man. Shaq is too old. How is he going to wrestle? No Hack says, I'm optimistic about Cody versus Shaq. I mean, I say this a lot too, is that I have faith in AEW. I have faith. I have faith in what they do. They haven't let us down very much in terms of things. So I do want to offer them the benefit of the doubt. But man, it's hard. It's really hard. It's really hard to think how a match with Shaq could actually work against Cody. I just don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens when we get there. I'm definitely willing to give it a chance. I have no problem in giving it a chance, but I just don't know how it'll turn out. And I don't want AEW to go down this road like WWE does, where they feel like they have to bring in celebrities to boost ratings and stuff like that. I just want a good show. That's all I want. I want wrestling. AEW has typically delivered on stuff like that. So I guess the best thing to say is that we'll just wait and see. Other than that, I don't know. We haven't seen Jade Cargill do anything except do some promos, though, right? Unless she's been on Dark. Jade Cargill. I don't think she's done anything except the promos. She's not even in the database for cage match, so I'm assuming she hasn't wrestled at all. Corey says AEW is awesome besides Cody trying to go big names like Vince. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's what he's just going to be doing now since he's not involved in anything. You would think that Cody would have some sort of interest in this whole Bullet Club reunion, this whole elite thing with the Good Brothers being there. Kind of interesting that he's not interested in any of that. It's also kind of interesting that Hangman Adam Page hasn't mentioned anything about being involved with that either, since, you know, they are former Bullet Club members. They are members of the Elite. I guess Hangman Adam Page is not a current member of the Elite, but from what I understand, Cody would still be a member of the Elite. I don't think he ever disbanded from them. So I don't know. Obi James says this is AEW's version of Nate Robinson versus Jake Paul. Oh God. Slicer says imagine Shaq taking a Canadian destroyer. That would be absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Christopher says, you think Jay White will be heading to WWE or AEW? If WWE do, think you enter the Royal Rumble this Sunday? I think he's staying with New Japan. I wouldn't expect him to show up anywhere else. Warrior says, if anything, it feels like Cody has been more away from the Elite than Hangman has. I would agree. And, you know, something that's kind of weird that I haven't... So I watch BTE every single week. But I don't think I've ever seen an episode of Sammy Guevara's blog. But what I've noticed is that Cody is never in BTE. But when I see Sammy post his tweets with the 4 screenshots of his blog, it always seems like Cody is involved in it. So it's kind of weird that he's like how separated he's been from the Elite. It's weird. Like I feel like I missed some huge like explosion or like some huge storyline where Cody completely separated himself, but it feels like just, I guess maybe just over time he's slowly slid away and just worked his way into Sammy Guevara's vlog. Sorry. Very weird though. What's going on, CM Punk? How you doing, my friend? You're being teased for the Royal Rumble this Sunday. So yeah, I'm not too sure where we'll see this whole Cody Shaq thing going, but it's not for me, but I'm willing to hold off and give them the benefit of the doubt here. Corey says Sammy's joining the Nightmare family. I could see that. Enigma says I completely forgot that Cody is a part of the Elite. Yeah, it's weird, right? It's just like so far, like out of sight, out of mind, I guess, right? That's why I think it's weird that neither Cody or Hangman have been involved in any of this. They're all former Bullet Club members. They're all former Elite members. So I don't quite understand. No Hack says Cody just kind of chills on Sammy's vlog, and he said something like, "Those guys never put me on BTE." Oh, okay. So it's not him not wanting to be on BTE. It's just him not being put on BTE. Enigma says Hangman isn't a part of the Elite anymore. I know, I'm saying like they're former members. I mean, Cody might still be a member of the Elite. I have no idea, but Hangman did drop out from the Elite. But it's interesting that they don't have any sort of interest in what's going on. You would think that they would. There's a huge history there with Bullet Club and the Elite. So it just, I don't know, it's just kind of weird with the whole cross promotion thing. You would think they'd want their hands in that. If Sammy turns face, I want him to use the panda hat again. I would assume he probably would. Christopher says they haven't teamed or even been together since the first empty area Dynamite episode when the pandemic started, when it was Cody, Kenny, and Hangman, Matt versus Hanger, Sammy, Santana, and Ortiz. Yes, wow, that's been a while. Almost a year then. Almost a year, that's crazy. I wonder why. Especially when I look at this and I feel that, I mean, Hangman, he has a lot going on for him, but Cody doesn't have anything other than this weird stuff that they're doing with him. So I don't know. Which I guess this is all a good segue here, because this leads us into Hangman Adam Page's match, taking on everyone's favorite Uncle Ziggy's brother, Nick Nemeth. From what I saw, this was a pretty good match here. I'm not sure if I think this is Nick's first time with the company. Let me double check here. Has he been working dark? Let's see here. No. Am I doing something wrong here? Oh, his name is Ryan. That's why. Jesus. Ryan Nemeth. My apologies. It was like showing all of Dolph Ziggler stuff, and I'm like, what is going on here? Okay, so it looks like this is his first time with AEW. Yeah. This is his first time with AEW. Oh, he's interesting. I didn't know that he's worked with NXT. Oh, in 2013. 2013. Interesting. So yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe he'll get signed with the company. I'm not sure. But good to see Hangman Adam Page back in the singles competition. Last week on AEW Dynamite, he declined the Dark Order's offer to join them, which leads us down a slippery slope. What happens next? What happens next for Hangman Adam Page? What happens next for the Dark Order? Is there a leader going to debut? Is there someone that is going to debut maybe at Revolution or sometime soon to lead them? Are they going to be leaderless? Is -1 going to lead them? Is Eric Redbeard going to debut and lead them? Is Marty Scurll going to get signed with the AEW and lead them? Lots of interesting things here, I think. But overall, I thought this was a pretty decent match here between Hangman Adam Page and Ryan Nemeth. Nemeth, however you say that. CM says both shows were good today. Every main event. Yeah, the main events tonight were crazy. I love it. Warrior says he actually used a couple of Dolph's moves. Good to see, man. Good to see. Sisa says Hangman was aggressive in this match. Yeah, I wonder, man, I just wonder what's going to happen next with him. I guess this is probably a good time to mention that Big Money Matt here was ringside this whole time, cheering on Hangman Adam Page, clapping for him. Of course, as you probably predicted, Hangman Adam Page did get the win here over Ryan Nemeth. And as soon as that happened, Matt Hardy got onto the ramp and started clapping for him. Matt Hardy started walking away, and Hangman actually called him to the ring. And then we saw Tony Schiavone walk down to the ring, better yet, with a microphone to kind of chat and see what was going on. Matt Hardy ended up kind of just talking to Page about how everyone's trying to use him and about how he is not trying to use him. He just wants to look out for him. He said that he knows that he has a tiny little dressing room. He knows that he dresses alone, and he knows that his dressing room is across from catering, which supposedly I guess is bad. I guess that's bad. I would see that as a plus because you could just walk out and get some food. But maybe it's just the association of being in catering and not being used. So he offered Adam Page to be able to go into his dressing room. He said he has a huge dressing room. He's welcome into it at any time here, and he doesn't want anything from him. So looks like Big Money Matt here is trying to recruit some more people. Looks like we have two stables now who are trying to recruit people. We got the Dark Order and now Big Money Matt trying to recruit people. His first recruits are Private Party, and Hardy Party has been going pretty well. They just turned heel last week as well, if you missed that. So where this goes, I have no idea. Afterwards, he posted on Twitter that everyone is always trying to talk to him. So who knows? Maybe he stays a lone cowboy for a little bit longer. Maybe he joins with Big Money Matt. Maybe he goes back to the Elite. I have no idea. But the thing that I like is that he can kind of go any direction. He can really go any direction at this point. It doesn't seem like he's tied anywhere. I wouldn't be surprised if he did have a feud with the Dark Order as well. They didn't really follow up with that this week about them being upset. Maybe the Dark Order will just, they love and appreciate Hangman so much that they don't want to feud with him. Maybe they'll still be trying to get him. I have no idea. I think this is the perfect time to tell everyone that Hangman Adam Page is the next AEW World Champion. I put everything I own on that. I think that Hangman Adam Page is going to be the first person to kick out of the one-winged angel, and I think that he is going to be the one to dethrone Kenny Omega, and he is 100% going to be the next AEW World Champion, and everyone's going to be singing yeehaw, and everyone's going to be singing cowboy shit everywhere that they go, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Can't wait to see it. And hopefully it happens at a huge pay-per-view. Hopefully it happens at Double or Nothing at some point in the future, because I'm going to be there. I'm 100% going to that event. I can't miss something like that. That's going to be incredible. That's going to be a huge night, and that is going to solidify Hangman Adam Page as the GOAT right there. That is all. Leroy says, I just thought of another prediction for my women's Royal Rumble match, Rhea Ripley. Ripley will be a good one. Ripley would be a good one for sure. I could definitely see that happening if NXT is going to be involved. Corey says Silver will wear his cowboy hat. That was funny. CM Punk says, I want Revolution from another place. Daly's Place is boring now. They tried to get out of Daly's Place because it's so cold there, but they ended up not being able to work out a deal, I think. So they are staying in Daly's Place currently. Which is, so I guess something that I can tell you guys that no one's really talked about yet is that Double or Nothing is coming up. What is the date for Double or Nothing? Let me double check here. Double or Nothing 2021. If it even has a date. Okay, so Double or Nothing 2021 is supposed to happen Saturday, May 29th. I have tickets to this event. I have very good tickets to this event. I'm so excited too, by the way. So, my fiance and I bought tickets to last year's Double or Nothing, which obviously got canceled because of the pandemic. Currently, so my fiance reached out to a bunch of people, I think she said like 6 or 7 people, about Double or Nothing, because our tickets from last year, we could either get a refund or we could just keep them, and they would honor them for this coming Double or Nothing on May 29th. So she reached out to the MGM and to AEW and to the traveling company that does all the wrestling stuff. And I don't think AEW responded to the email, but everyone else says that Double or Nothing is going to happen. It's still scheduled. It's on. I believe that Double or Nothing is the first event scheduled for the MGM or one of the first events for the MGM. So hopefully by Saturday, May 29th, there will be fans for AEW again. And hopefully they will be traveling and in other arenas as well. Very exciting. Very, very exciting. I'm going to love if we can actually go back to wrestling by then. Hopefully it's a thing. And I'm hoping even if they do, that they just have limited seating. And since we already have tickets, we won't have to deal with it. And hopefully we'll be able to go. If not, I hope that they honor our tickets, because we're going to be flying to Daly's Place. Like, I'm going. If they'll honor them at Daly's Place, we're going to Florida. We go into Florida. Flash says, when Hangman win the AEW belt, I would love to see him hugging with John Silver and Reynolds. That'd be cool. Maybe he's just not ready to join the Dark Order. Maybe he will eventually. Leroy says, if Hangman wins the AEW World Championship, we should all have a huge party in his favor. Hell yeah, man. A cowboy party. Huge cowboy party for Hangman Adam Page. I would love it. I would love it. Just want AEW in Columbus, Ohio. I'm sure they'll come there one day, man. I'm sure they will. It's only a matter of time before this stuff, before we get control over this stuff. CM Punk says, are you going to Mania this year? Absolutely not. No way. I would love to go to a WrestleMania one day, but at the same time, I don't know if I can handle it. I've been to the Royal Rumble. It was cool, and I think we got really lucky because we bought parking in our ticket package, I believe. So in order for our ticket, like our parking ticket to be valid, we had to show up super early to the event, and we got like front row parking at the parking entrance. and then our seats were like stupid close to an exit. So so in the Royal Rumble, man, we were there for like, I kid you not, I think we were there for over 10 hours for the Royal Rumble. This was the one that Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins won. We were there. As soon as the event ended, we got out of there super quick and out of the parking lot super quick. I can't imagine how terrible it would be to try to get away from 40 to 50,000 people. So I would love to go to a WrestleMania, but I'm just really, I don't know if I could handle being there for like 12 plus hours. And then how irritating it would be to try to get out of an arena with 70,000 people in it, plus 100,000 people in it. Just getting out of the building and the traffic. Oh man. It sounds like an absolute nightmare. So I want to go, but that is what's really keeping me from going. And the price too, probably. The tickets are probably so expensive. Who do you think wins the Battle Royal next week? We're going to be talking about that at the very end of the show. Very end of the show. Shelva says, I've been to a few Manias. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. I went to the Mania in Detroit. That's awesome as well, man. It's a dream of mine to go, but I don't know. I just, it's really putting me off, but maybe one day when that perfect WrestleMania is starting to shape up, we can get tickets to one and go. Yeah, F that way too long. Yeah, the 10 hours for the Royal Rumble was crazy. It was crazy. OB James says, I could have gone to WrestleMania 35, but I missed out on cheap tickets and had the test the next day. Yeah, having a test the next day would be brutal. And wasn't it WrestleMania last year, or not last year, but the year before, where people were stranded out there till like 5 a.m.? People were stranded outside for like 5 a.m. because of like they shut off the buses or something like that. And it was pouring down rain. Jesus. Rocco says, yeah, I went to Mania in Orlando and it was a mess getting out. I felt like you were there for the whole day and you mentally drained by the time you got out. Yeah, I mean, that's the same thing with the Royal Rumble, but I'm assuming it was a couple hours longer for Mania since it's a huge event. It was one of the favorite things I've ever done was going to the Royal Rumble. But like I said, I think the right WrestleMania just has to come along. One that just can't miss, and one that's relatively close as well, I guess, because I don't know how I feel about paying a fortune to go and play. I hate traveling, man. I can't stand it. So it takes it sucks the life out of me traveling. So the closer it is, the better. Christopher says, I want to see Bullet Club versus the Inner Circle inside Blood and Guts. We could definitely see that happen. We could even probably see AEW Bullet Club versus New Japan Bullet Club and Blood and Guts. I think that'd be fantastic. Obi James says it's probably not coming to New York anytime soon due to people getting stuck at MetLife Stadium. Yeah, I would have been so pissed. I would have been so pissed for that. Next up, we saw my favorite match of the night, probably by far. This was the match between Jungle Boy and Dax Harwood. For this match, they didn't want any interference, so we saw Luchasaurus being handcuffed to Tully Blanchard and Cash Wheeler ringside. This match was great. This match was absolutely great. And I think we all agree that it's not an if Jungle Boy becomes a star, it's just when. Just when Jungle Boy becomes a huge star. I think changing his music to Tarzan Boy was the first step in this. The presentation is incredible. It fits so well in it. And just hearing the crowd chant the melody for Tarzan Boy is just so good. It's so good. It reminds me of Shinsuke Nakamura and them doing his theme. The crowd chant, the melody. I love it. It fits so well. And the cool thing is that Tony Khan bought the rights to Tarzan Boy in perpetuity. So they have it forever. They have it forever. It will not expire. They will have that theme for Jungle Boy forever. I love it, man. I absolutely love it. And this match was incredible. This match was incredible. I think people still, I mean, we'll talk about Jungle Boy a little bit more in a minute, but the hate that FTR gets is crazy. I don't feel like they get enough love from fans. So many people, maybe it's just WWE fans that don't like them, but I saw so many people hate on FTR or the Revival for so long, calling them crybabies, saying that they're boring, they don't know how to wrestle, and they were happy for them to get their release from WWE because they were boring. FTR is incredible, man. They're incredibly, they're terribly slept on. Terribly slept on. Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood are an incredible tag team. They put on incredible matches, and it was awesome to see Dax Harwood come out here in a singles match and put on a fantastic match with Jungle Boy. This was clearly Dax Harwood putting over Jungle Boy. I think this is a huge win for Jungle Boy. We all agree that this match was fantastic as well. And Jungle Boy getting a submission win as well. You'll love to see it, man. You'll love to see it. Flash says, in my opinion, this is a candidate for match of the year. It was so damn good. Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. This was a good one. This was a real good one. Corey says, FTR is amazing. By far the best tag team in the business. Love seeing Tully jumping off the ropes. That was crazy to see as well. Absolutely crazy. Shelva says, top guys. 100%, man. I've loved every single thing that they've done in AEW. I was kind of like, it kind of worried me that FTR debuted and got into the tag team championship scene so quickly, only because I was kind of scared to see what they did afterwards. And their return has been fantastic as well. I don't think they've lost anything. They haven't skipped a beat at all. FTR is amazing, and I think their feud with the Jurassic Express is very good as well. I mean, I have no complaints over any of this. Corey says, love Jungle Boy showing that he's more than a high flyer. I agree. Obi James says, Jungle Boy is a future champion. I agree, man. I completely agree. I can see Spears costing them a match because of Tully. What is Sean Spears up to, by the way? What's going on with him? Sean Spears. I haven't seen him for a while. It seemed like he was complaining about them not doing anything with him. So he hasn't been on Dark. Oh, this was on Dynamite. So he hasn't been on anything since December. He hasn't been on any sort of AEW programming since December. So interesting to see what they're going to do with him. I wouldn't mind FTR and Sean Spears teaming up. I also wouldn't mind Hangman Adam Page getting thrown in there as well for a new Four Horsemen. Yeah, I agree that people were sleeping on FTR. Incredible athletes, no doubt about it. Yeah, I mean, it's awesome to see them get the recognition from PWI as well for being the #1 tag team of the year. I definitely think that they deserved it. I really do. I think he was supposed to do a storyline where he quits AEW since they took off his record, but I think they kind of got rid of it. Makes sense? Is he back on the thing? Let's see. I actually don't even know. AllEliteWrestling.com/roster. Let's see if Sean Spears is back on the AEW roster here. Can I search for him? So he is not on the roster currently. He's not on the roster. So yeah, very interesting. Very interesting. I wonder what they're going to be doing with him. CM says, what about Miro? Give a big push to Miro. I think that's coming. I think it's coming. I think that this whole wedding thing, this whole thing with Kip and Penelope, I think this has all literally just been to buy time. And just to have Miro on TV. I think that this wedding, if I had to guess, I think that this wedding will be the turning point for Miro. That's what I'm hoping. But like I've said a lot of times when the discussion of Miro comes up, it's that the AEW World Heavyweight Championship scene is crowded. I seriously, I bet money, but Hangman Adam Page is the next world champion, without a doubt. Miro could probably win it from him, but a lot of people think that Pac could be next. So it's I don't know. It's hard to decide what's going to happen with Miro here. Corey says, love the show, brother, but gotta bounce. The wife is mad and the baby's awake. Talk to you tomorrow about Peacock. Thanks for tuning in, Corey, man. I really appreciate it. Hope you have a good rest of your night. Yeah, we should have some interesting discussions tomorrow about Peacock for sure. Obi James says, if only the North was together so we could get an FTR in the North. Man, that would be so good. The North versus FTR would be crazy. Absolutely crazy. We'd love to see it. I wonder what is going to happen with Ethan Page as well. I wonder what's going to happen with him. Christopher says Miro has to become world champ. He said on Twitter, I believe that he would retire if he doesn't win the title. I think he's destined to do it. I think that he's destined to become an AEW World Heavyweight Champion. I really do. I think that he'll get pushed there. The only problem is the line is so long. Kenny Omega has to have a long reign as AEW World Champion. He has to. If he's going to be doing all of this title stealing from other companies and stuff like that, it only makes sense that he carries the title for a long time. If Page is going to take it from him, I think it's only natural that he has a long reign as well. I have no problem with Miro fitting in after that. I think that I definitely think that he could be the face of the company for sure. Alex says he might get a trio title win, but who would his partners be? I can't see him lasting with Kip Sabian much longer after the wedding. I feel like that's when they will implode. But who knows? Maybe it'll go smoothly. Rocco says, when do you think Omega drops the title? I think Page loses to Omega again before winning it once, then wins at All Out. I don't see Page losing to Omega. I don't see that happening at all. That's not really an AEW style thing to do. In my opinion, I think that Omega will knock down some competition, and then finally at some point we will see the huge match between Page and Omega happen. Them running it back and having Page lose, I don't think would work very well. Obi James says Ethan Page is gone. He is pissed at Impact for the match at Hard to Kill, so I guess we have to wait for Josh Alexander's contract to expire. Is that true though? Was that true, or was he just bullshitting? Because to me, I felt like he was just bullshitting. I thought it was a joke. I do know that he changed his Twitter to like a bunch of white stuff. Does he have a Twitter anymore? Yes. Okay, it is. Yeah, so it's just the waiting room now. He's in the waiting room. He deleted all of his tweets and put a white profile picture and one of those green screen videos of him like being naked in a white area. The butler, I'm getting his name Charles Taylor. Flash says AOW got to drop it here. I'm not sure if I could do it tomorrow, but you can bet your ass that I'll be here for Friday and Saturday. Good night, everyone. Thanks, Flash, for tuning in, my friend. I really appreciate it. And yeah, hopefully I'll see everyone tomorrow. We'll try and do one in the afternoon to talk about Peacock. Raphael says, what if Miro turns on Sabian, wrecks the wedding, and aligns himself with the Best Friends and Orange Cassidy? It was always kind of weird to me that they brought in a mega babyface and instantly made him heel. So maybe the heel run is a red herring. That would be interesting. I'm not sure. I guess I'm not really sure what to expect of it. It's just my guess because I feel like wrestling weddings never go well. Evan says, AOW, tell me how great Dax vs Jungle Boy was. It was incredible, man. It was incredible. Match of the night for sure. We actually just got done talking about that match. Just wrapped that one up. Match of the night. We all think the Jungle Boy is bound for superstardom at some point. 100%. So yeah, I'm not quite sure what's going to happen with this Miro stuff though. Not quite sure. Next up was a segment with Team Taz here where they were answering Darby Allin's and Sting's promo from earlier where they were being hoodlums. And they accept the challenge for the street fight, so it's going to be a good one. Can't wait to see that. I can't wait to see what they're able to do with this cinematic street fight. As they were walking through here, they stumbled upon a merch table, which is extremely weird. I guess they do have fans there, so I guess it's not that weird as I thought it was, because I did forget that they had fans. But they were mad that the merch people had Sting and Darby Allin merch, but they didn't have any merch for Team Taz. So I think this is the first time we've really seen Hook go at someone as well. So Hook knocked off the guy's hat and punched him in the gut, and then they started destroying people. Evan Wright says Ricky Starks shoulder pressing, that fool popped the shit out of me. That was a good one. And then one of them threw someone into the trailer as well, which I think is like a callback from WCW, if I remember correctly. So this was good. Always good to see Team Taz be dominant. I don't know where they're gonna go from here. I can't really see Sting and Darby Allin losing this street fight. So it'll be interesting though. It'll be interesting. I think that Ricky Starks has a really bright future ahead of him, and I think that Powerhouse Hobbs has a very bright future ahead of him as well. So it'll be interesting to see where they go after all of this with Team Taz. Evan says Hook has been dropping dudes on their heads on Dark lately. Oh, really? Good to know. Man, I need to start watching Dark. I think I say it all the time, but I really need to start watching Dark. I feel like I missed so much. I feel like I missed so much content. And AEW, I mean, it seems kind of weird to see everyone on AEW because I don't watch Dark, so I'm not quite sure what their wins and losses are. I'm not quite sure if they're featured all the time and stuff like that. So I think I might eventually have to start tuning into Dark. I don't know if I'll ever watch it like live on Tuesdays, but maybe Tuesday nights when I'm working or something at night, I can watch it while I'm sitting here. Raphael says, how mad are you that Shaq is fighting? I don't like it at all. I don't like it at all. I don't think it makes any sense, but since AEW hasn't really disappointed us too much, they usually listen. I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt until I see what's going on. I still don't like it though. I don't think that Shaq should be wrestling. This is probably just some sort of publicity stunt to get more viewers. Maybe this is from TNT. I don't know. I'm willing to watch and have them prove me wrong though. I'll be happy to be wrong. I was very wrong with Pat McAfee. I didn't want him anywhere in NXT. I didn't want him fighting with Adam Cole. I didn't think he belonged, and he proved me wrong. Pat McAfee was incredible. He created an incredible stable that helped propel up Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch. So very happy for that. I'm hoping that AEW is able to do the same thing here with Shaq. Obviously, I don't think it'll be anywhere near the same as the Pat McAfee thing. Shaq probably cannot wrestle to save his life. He's a large man. He's old. But you know, I'm willing to go into it and see what they can do. But on paper, as of now, I hate it. Rocco says Dark is actually good. It's better than Raw, and the commentary is amazing. Yeah, I mean, more than anything, I'm very interested in the commentary. I love seeing all of the Taz and Excalibur stuff that gets posted on Botchamania. Evan Wright says, I love the Shaq crossover appeal with TNT. I'm assuming it has to be with some sort of TNT thing, I would guess. We've talked about Cody kind of being lost in the shuffle storyline wise, so maybe it's just a ploy to get more eyes on the product. I don't know, but hopefully they prove me wrong. Next up, we saw Dr. Britt Baker taking on Shanna. It was actually good to see this match. I liked it. I enjoyed this match a lot. I'm a big fan of Britt Baker right now. I think she has come a long way. I think she's come a really long way since Jericho Cruise, I think, is when she turned heel. So I'm been really enjoying everything that she's done. I thought that Shauna did a great job as well. It was good to actually see the women get some match time on AEW Dynamite, and it's good to see a storyline brewing between Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa. I think that's probably like the match that I'm most hyped for to see, and that AEW's women's division has ever put together. I've been waiting for Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa for a very long time. I think Thunder Rosa had to quarantine. I think that's why that match got moved. This match was originally supposed to take place on night 1 or 2 of New Year's Smash. So good to see it finally happening. I'm very excited for it. I originally had thought that the winner of this match would be the next person to face Hikaru Shida, and I thought that this person would dethrone her. But I'm not quite sure that's the case now that we have this AEW Women's Championship Eliminator Tournament thing going on here. So I'm not quite sure. Rocco says, I would love to see Miro versus Cody after Revolution. That's a match that I wouldn't mind seeing either. I wouldn't mind seeing that. I hope that they have something planned for Miro after this wedding. I do. But I wouldn't put it past him. Tony Khan seems to think really highly of Miro. So I think it's only a matter of time before he's in that world championship picture and continuing to be a beast, but getting some more screen time. So anyways, after this, Britt Baker gets the win over Shauna here. And I love seeing her put on the glove before doing her finishing move. I love that aspect of it. It's great. After the match, she continued to beat up Shauna, and Thunder Rosa came out. And of course, naturally, Britt Baker went running. So this match is next week at New Year's break. Or sorry, not New Year's break. Beach break. Very excited to see what Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker are able to do. Obi James says, I love Shauna's attire. Yeah, I love it too. I love that she's obsessed with Dragon Ball Z. That's really cool. I like it a lot. So I'm not sure what's in store for the winner of this Thunder Rosa Britt Baker match. I'm excited for it. Maybe they will get a shot at Hikaru Shida before the Eliminator tournament. And I think after this match, they went ahead and announced, let me see if I can bring this up here. I think after this match happened, they announced, or they at least talked about the AEW Women's World Championship Eliminator Tournament. We kind of briefly talked about this earlier, but since it happened on the show at this point, I want to bring it up again. So I think that they gave us a little bit more details, but they didn't tell us a lot of the entrance here. So they did mention that the USA side is on the left and the Japan side is on the right. So I don't know what that necessarily means, because one of the matches, the first match, is going to be NWA Women's World Champion Serena Deeb taking on Riho. Christopher says, well, it was great chatting, my man. Have a good night. Thanks for tuning in, Christopher. I appreciate it. Have a good rest of your night, my friend. So on the left side, we have 8 people on the left side, and we have 8 people on the right side. So I'm a little bit confused as to how this is going to work. Is Rio on the left side? What's going to happen? Like, who are these entrants going to be in this match? Are they really going to take 8 Joshi wrestlers and take them and put them on the right side for Japan? But why is Riho on the left side? Like, I don't know. I'm a little bit confused. I really wish that they would announce the people that are in this match. Hell, maybe they don't even know. Maybe they have no idea what they're doing with this. It still says coming soon. So who knows? I believe this is all supposed to happen on Dynamite as well, which I hope it is. But this is going to be one hell of a long tournament with 16 people in it. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Really don't know. Raphael says, do you think the Young Bucks will win the tag team battle royal and pick the Good Brothers? I could definitely see that happening, but maybe it's too obvious. Maybe someone else wins. Yeah, I could definitely see that happening. And we're just about there. So we're going to talk about that a little bit more in depth in just a second here. Rocco says, I think it's USA versus Japan matches. I that's what I think too, but at the same time, wouldn't Riho be considered on the Japan side? Or are maybe they teaming up with someone? Or maybe they teaming up with Stardom to do maybe some matches over there and have the winner come over here? I don't know. It's very interesting. Especially since there's no date involved. We don't really have any sort of solid details for this tournament. Next up, we saw another backstage segment here with MJF and Sammy Guevara, which just kind of leads more and more into Sammy Guevara possibly being the first person to split from the Inner Circle. We talked about this earlier, so I'm not going to linger on this too long, but I think MJF versus Sammy Guevara at AEW Revolution could be big. I think that Sammy Guevara parting from the Inner Circle and being the big babyface could be big as well. Raphael says maybe there isn't a US and Japan side, but every first round match is US versus Japan. That could be true. That could be true. Maybe the left side isn't just the US and maybe the right side isn't just Japan, but yeah, maybe they are matched up that way. That's very possible. That's very possible. But I think they worded it that way on Dynamite. I think they said that the left side is the US and the right side is Japan. But I don't know. Maybe that's just for every match, because the match card, the graphic, the US flag is on the left and the Japan flag is on the right. So for this Serena Deeb and Riho match, Serena Deeb is on the left and Riho is on the right. So maybe you cracked the code on that one. I think the Good Brothers win the Battle Royal. I don't believe that the Good Brothers are in the Battle Royal. No, they're not. They're not in the Battle Royal. But we're just about to talk about that. So right before this main event match, this saw the Good Brothers and the Young Bucks take on the Dark Order. We saw a little backstage segment here with the Good Brothers and the Young Bucks. They're talking about the Bullet Club. They name dropped the Bullet Club a handful of times here, and the Biz Cliz. And everything was all fine and dandy until Kenny Omega walked up and got in their face, said, "I hope that I'm not interrupting anything." And then Don Callis came up, and man, this guy was talk about overselling your injury here. Half of Don Callis's face was covered in bandages. Why, I have no idea. I think it's pretty funny because his face was just bruised. So not really needed to have all of this stuff on your face here. So there's definitely some inner turmoil here between Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. Who knows how we've talked about this a million times, so I'm not going to really linger on it, but there's a ton of different ways that this whole new version of the Bullet Club could go. There's tons and tons and tons of stuff. So next up, we saw them make their entrances, which was interesting to see the Young Bucks still come out of the right side, the right tunnel here. The Good Brothers actually had a full-on entrance this time with their music and Titantron, which was absolutely amazing to see. I'm very happy for that, because last time they kind of just walked out. Yes, Shelvis. They did say beat up John Moxley, which is hilarious, and kind of a callback to when they used to beat up John Cena with AJ Styles. Raphael says bandage Don Callis or El Randistador. Who would win and who's the king of selling injuries? I think that Don Callis oversold his injuries here, but Randy's is way more hilarious, having on that lucha mask for a burnt face. Was pretty good. So anyways, this for this being an 8-man tag match, you know, I talk a lot of shit about AEW not having very, very good multi-man matches. I thought that this 8-man tag match was pretty good. Pretty good. There was some chaos, but it felt in control for the most part. So I actually really enjoyed this main event. I thought it was very good. It's awesome to see the Good Brothers in AEW working. It's incredible, man. Absolutely incredible. Rocco says the graphic shows USA versus Japan, so I think every match will be a US competitor versus a Japan competitor. I'm totally down for that, Rocco. Totally down for that. I think that maybe since I had seen the tournament bracket, that I just assumed that the entire left side of the bracket would be US and the entire right side of it would be Japan. But it makes a lot more sense to have a US versus Japan match for every single one. Makes a lot more sense. Those Good Brothers have a knack for beating up Johns. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. John Cena's, John Moxley's. Good Brothers are always taking out the Johns. Always taking out the Johns. But yeah, anyways, I thought this match was good. I enjoyed it. Of course, the Good Brothers and the Young Bucks get the win here. This is when things got a little bit crazy. Things got a little crazy here. Let me actually put this on the screen here so we can all see this. Give me 1 second here. Beach break. I will share with you everyone who is involved in this tag team battle royal that is going down next week on Beach Break, because they made a very interesting statement at the end. All right, Beach Break. Here we go. All right, let's make this bad boy full screen. Shelby says Silver was running wild tonight. Yes, he was. It was very good. I love John Silver and Alex Reynolds. They're a fantastic tag team. Rocco says, surprisingly, the Good Brothers aren't in the Battle Royal. Yes, and there's a reason. There is a reason. So here's a look at the match card for the Tag Team Battle Royal here. The winners of this will receive a title shot at AEW Revolution. And actually, I'm going to make this a little bit smaller so that I don't get some sort of copyright, because I've heard people get some copyright claims for pictures, you know what I mean? And I ain't trying to have that. So I'll put it right here for now. So in this Battle Royal, we can see Top Flight, Private Party, Jurassic Express in the form of Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy. We have FTR. We have the AEW World Tag Team Champions, the Young Bucks, MJF and Chris Jericho, Evil Uno and Stu Grayson, Sammy Guevara and Jake Hager, Pride and Powerful, and then we also see the Acclaimed. Interesting that John Silver and Alex Reynolds are not in this match. I think they should definitely be in this match. Raphael says, and that's not even the entire division. God, they're stacked. Yeah, their tag team division is insane. Their tag team division is absolutely insane. So one of the interesting things to note here, other than the Young Bucks being in this match, is that we have the Inner Circle in this match as well. So we have Pride and Powerful, Sammy Hagar, and MJF and Chris Jericho. So I definitely see some more turmoil brewing between these guys here in this match, more so probably with Pride and Powerful. I think that Santana and Ortiz could be on their way out of the Inner Circle. We talked about that earlier, so I could definitely see that happening here. Unfortunately for this match, I believe that it was spoiled at the end of the show. Right after the match, the Young Bucks took a mic, got on the mic, and said that they are, if you didn't notice, that they are in this match. So here's how it goes. The winner of this match gets a tag team opportunity against the Young Bucks at AEW Revolution. But if the Young Bucks win this match, then they can pick the team of their choice to face at AEW Revolution. Of course, when they said that, they looked over at the Good Brothers. So this leads me to believe that the Young Bucks are in fact going to be the ones winning this at Beach Break next week. My apologies. The Good Brothers versus the Young Bucks at AEW Revolution sounds like a good match to me. Sounds like a big match to me as well. And what if Kenny Omega isn't the only one collecting championship gold? Could we potentially see a winner-take-all match? Could we see the Young Bucks defending their AEW World Tag Team Championships against the Good Brothers, who will be defending their Impact World Tag Team Championships? Just something to consider, since Kenny Omega is going to be collecting gold. And I believe I saw the other day that AEW just tried to trademark some sort of Battle of the Belts, I believe. So maybe the Young Bucks won't win it. Rocco just said he doesn't believe that the Young Bucks will win it. Maybe they won't win it. And maybe AEW will have some sort of Battle of the Belts pay-per-view. Maybe not even a pay-per-view, but one of those special events just like Beach Break. Maybe then we will see the Young Bucks challenge the Good Brothers. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Like I've been saying for a couple of weeks, just like the Inner Circle, the Bullet Club, the Elite, whatever the hell you want to call it, there's a lot of storyline here. There's a lot of different angles that they could take. There's a lot of different ways that they could go. So it's very exciting. It's very exciting. If the Young Bucks aren't the ones to win, who could it be? Pride and Powerful, maybe? I think that would be a pretty good choice if it's not the Young Bucks. If Pride and Powerful win, maybe they'll pin someone else from the Inner Circle. Or maybe this will be a start of the way to make them separate from the Inner Circle. This could be a whole thing of like, well, yeah, sure, you guys won the match against us to be the Inner Circle's official tag team, but look, we are the ones that just earned ourselves a shot at the AEW World Tag Team Championships, not you guys. So we're the better team. Something interesting to consider there as well. Rocco says, the only reason I don't see them winning is because I think they'll wait a little bit to do the Good Brothers versus Young Bucks. Very possible. Very possible. And I've said it a million times. I think that this whole crossover thing, I don't think we've even begun to see the beginning of it. I think that a lot of stuff is going to go down in this relationship. And I think that New Japan is eventually going to be involved as well. They have to be. They have to be. Rocco says MJF and Jericho are Private Party. It would be insane for Private Party to win this, considering that they are also the Impact #1 contenders for the Impact World Tag Team Championships. That would be huge for Private Party. That would be huge. So I don't know, lots of things to consider there. Lots of stuff going on here, and all of this literally took place in like the last 2 minutes of Dynamite. It was crazy. After the match, they blew through all of this. So while this was happening, Rey Fenix ended up coming out to the ring and doing like some sort of double drop kick here on the Young Bucks. And of course, the Good Brothers were able to get a hold of him and start doing a little bit of damage. But your boy Jon Moxley came in and helped save the day as well. So Jon Moxley and Fenix ended up being able to get a hold of the Young Bucks and the Good Brothers and run them out of the ring. Kenny Omega tried to come in though, and Jon Moxley hit him with a paradigm shift and laid him out cold, which is the topic picture of the night. Kenny Omega sleeping on the mat. So building up for their match next week as well. Very, very interesting. I thought this was a pretty good episode of AEW Dynamite overall. It wasn't the best thing in the world, but it was certainly much, much, much better than last week's episode. And building up to Beach Break has been pretty good. Pretty good, considering that we only have 4 things going on for that entire show. Let me look up the card here really quick just to make sure that I do have them all and I'm not missing any here. Dismiss. Let's see here. So we do have the the main event, which is Kenny Omega teaming up with the Good Brothers to take on Jon Moxley, Pac, and Rey Fenix. The other thing is the tag team battle royal that we just spoke about, and the other match being Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa. The only other thing that is scheduled for the Beach Break event is the Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford wedding. So yeah, that is all of it. That is all I got. So very interesting that they haven't announced very much for that event. I'm assuming that throughout this week they'll probably schedule some more stuff, I hope. They're usually pretty good about booking their shows up quite a bit in advance. So hopefully they do that as well. Anyways, that is going to do it for me. That is a wrap for the AEW Dynamite post show. If you're still here, make sure to subscribe. We are on the road to 1,000 and we are super close. We are super close. Also, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. It helps a lot when the show gets published and goes live on YouTube. Also, if you're still here, tomorrow we will be doing a stream, hopefully sometime in the afternoon tomorrow. The entire stream is going to be focused on the WWE Peacock deal. There's a lot to be talked about in that, and I have a lot to say. So I'll probably be posting it sometime around noon or 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I would expect to go live somewhere around then. So if you could tune in, that would be fantastic. Or I don't know, maybe it'll be better to wait till the nighttime. I'm not sure. Maybe I will try going live in the afternoon. I think we'll stick to that one. Raphael says there's still Darby, Team Taz, Cody, and Orange Cassidy and stuff that they can use for Beach Break. Yeah, they have a lot of stuff going on in AEW, so I'm certain that they could fill out a card for sure. And yes, Moxley did drill Kenny with the paradigm shift. Yes. So anyways, we have that coming up tomorrow. Then on Friday, of course, we will have the SmackDown post show. Saturday morning, I will have a Royal Rumble predictions video for everyone. And then Saturday night, we will have a community Royal Rumble predictions live stream where we will discuss my predictions and all of your predictions. And that will be the first time that everyone will be able to hop into Discord and talk to chat and give their predictions as well. So that should be a really fun night there. And then, of course, on Sunday, we will have the Royal Rumble post show, which I'm hoping is going to be a huge night with a lot of exciting news. It should be a good one despite the Royal Rumble having no hype. And I'm sticking to it. I am sticking to it. Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And I hope to see you all tomorrow for the Peacock stream. Have a good rest of your night. Peace.